I don't think most people know El Paso. It can be a difficult place to understand, like many border towns. The name originally belonged to the whole region before there were borders. Defined now by its duality, the border here is both easy to cross for some, while impossible for others. A place of love and acceptance that on August 3rd, 2019 at a local Walmart became targeted by hate.
It took someone coming from outside of this community of immigrants to come and bring their hatred and their death to El Paso. And in the face of that, this community is coming together unlike any other time that I can remember. Donations of blood, donations of food, just the love and the encouragement and the strength and the support in the face of a horrific mass killing.
Possibly the largest group affected by Saturday's shooting was EP Fusion, a 12 and under girls soccer team.
On Saturday, the team set up their first ever fundraiser outside the Cielo Vista Walmart, hoping to raise money for jackets, sweatpants, and an out-of-town tournament. 5 of the girls' parents wounded, a grandfather on the team killed, and 2 coaches still hospitalized.
Sort of everything marries there in El Paso, where the desert sort of meets the mountains there. When you drive by on the highway and then you look over on the other side and you're looking at Juarez, it is a kind of a weird dichotomy. El Paso is important to us. It's Texas. We have spent so much time in El Paso and invested in that community. It really, I mean, this hurt. Our coaches go there a lot. And we've had players come. You know, most notably right now is Ricardo Pepi.
It's off a dressing and it's in! The goal is scored by Ricardo Pepi!
It's my hometown. It's where I was born. I spent most of my life there. I mean, he was from here. He had to drive 9 hours just to go hurt people.
If you look at his manifesto, it's targeting a certain group. Hispanics, minorities, different color, different language. He came with a mission.
How did you find out why or what had happened?
I saw the manifesto on social media the day of, and when I read it, it disgusted me. As a human being of any race or color, I don't understand how someone could build up that much hate for someone they don't know, just by their skin color. The fact that this was done by an American to Americans, we seem to just turn the eye to it and just look for the easy route on who's to blame.
Home to the oldest community in Texas, El Paso lies on the Rio Grande River on the U.S.-Mexico border. South of the river is La Ciudad Juarez, its sister city, coupled together by a shared history, economy, and culture, yet cleaved apart right here by an increasingly polarizing border wall.
There was an area where the Rio Grande had carved a pass. It's between 2 mountain ranges, so they called it El Paso del Rio del Norte, the pass of the river of the north. It was through the Gadsden Purchase that we became, part of the United States. Missionaries who came out, the Methodists, they called us the antipodes. It's the other side of the world. You can be in the United States and so far from the border that you just don't, it's like you don't even think about it. And I think recently people have thought about it as something scary. And so you want to wall it off.
Juárez y El Paso somos hermanos.
Hermanos,
¿Sí?
Hermanos, sí.
Sí.
Hay 2 caras de la moneda. Si nos pusiéramos a pensar, mucho de los estados de Estados Unidos está levantado por el mexicano.
A Mexican friend of mine, she calls borders the scars of history. And really they are. We live with ours.
Yo pasé por el río y la migra me agarró porque no tenía papeles. Y como ya eran como 10 veces que me agarraban, por eso me metieron a la cárcel por 5 años. Y todo, porque si yo vuelvo a cruzar, si me agarran otra vez por allá abajo por el río, me dan 20 años, 20 years. Está canijo, porque pues ahorita ya está mi esposa acá y mis hijos, y pues los dejaría solos, desamparados.
For generations, El Paso has been called the Ellis Island of the American Southwest. Over 80% Latino, a city of neighbors, a generosity of spirit, and a resilient people who make El Paso strong.
There's people that get caught, there's people that die crossing the river. I know that all those same people that are trying to cross over are trying to cross over with the same intention, which is to have a better opportunity.
Velasquez to the far post and in! What a strike! Seba Velasquez!
I'll tell you a funny story. My dad came last week. He landed, I picked him up, we're driving in the car, and we went down the highway, and he was like, you see this area right here? I know this border. He was like, this is where I crossed. This is where he started his life in the United States of America. And it's so cool to know now that he's coming here legally to watch me play a professional soccer game in the city. That's just one story based to the millions and millions of people that cross over.
Both of my parents are from Juarez, so they're Mexicans. Then whenever they decided to, have kids, that's when they decided to move to El Paso to look for a better life, a better opportunity for us and my brother.
Ricardo Pepe, number 16 years old, and it is quite a moment in his professional career.
Do you think about that sometimes as far as where you are now? You're playing pro soccer in Dallas, of like what your family has done to be able to create these opportunities for you?
Yeah, I really do. When I was small, my dad was my coach, and then we had a team. So then we would go out on the streets, sell waters and everything just to raise up for a tournament. And then I think that'd be really scary if I put myself in those shoes.
I remember that day, I'll never forget, I was carrying her the day that everything happened, and I was like, Jesus, like, we always go to Walmart. I'm always at the grocery store. I can't imagine being in that situation.
At 10:39 a.m. on August 3rd came the first calls for help from outside this Walmart in East El Paso, where people had come on what was supposed to be a normal Saturday. 24 people were injured and 22 killed, ranging in age from 15 to 90, with 13 being from the United States and 8 from Mexico and 1 from Germany, in what has become an all too familiar act of domestic terrorism.
We've got to acknowledge the hatred, the open racism that we're seeing. There's an environment of it in the United States, warning of an invasion at our border. It doesn't just offend us, it encourages the kind of violence that we're seeing, including in my hometown of El Paso yesterday.
I look back at the tent where Coach Luis and Coach Memo and the other parents were there selling the aguas frescas, and I see like this cloud of smoke come off the ground. I was like, is that a firecracker? I look, and that's when I see, Coach Memo down. And then I run to him, and I'm like, what happened? Talk to me. And he was like, I've been hit. I was hit. I'm hit. Out of nowhere, this cop comes running at me in like full gear, and he's like, you need to get out of here. Like now, you need to get out of here now. The shooter's still on site. I look back at my daughter and I tell her, run. To look at my baby girl and I'm like, does she have to grow up in this? Is this like what people are getting used to now? Well, I'm from Medellin, Colombia. That's not a lifestyle you want to get used to, and that's exactly why people are wanting to come here.
The people that are looking to flee those violent circumstances that are coming up here are the ones we're supposed to be afraid of, or people would tell you that much. And then
that's where it kind of contradicts itself. Sports athletes are starting to see that they're leaders as well.
The captain comes up with a very big goal.
Hey, Congress, do something now! End gun violence, let's go!
Well, that was interesting and unexpected, I would say.
As an owner, when you see MLS players speaking out about things that affect them, or either directly or indirectly, why do you think we're seeing that, and do you think that's important?
You hear that adage of, oh, it's really people that kill people, not guns. You hear one side of the argument. No, I was proud of Alejandro for doing that, for speaking up. Somebody actually has the common sense or the decency to speak up and say, look, there's something not right about this.
It's absurd, man. I'm not going to sit idly and watch this stuff happen and not say something. Before I'm an athlete, before I'm a soccer player, I'm a human being first. This stuff affects me. I got kids. I mean, I can't be the only one here that, you know, all you guys, I'm sure, feel the same way in this day and age in our society. I'm dropping my kids off at school and I'm looking around, thinking about exit strategy about, you know, when I'm at the mall, when I'm at a movie theater, when I'm at a concert, at a festival down the street, or, you know, at big gatherings, you know, something's got to be done.
I'm sure there'll be people that say, you know, I can't believe, you know, Dan is saying that we need to, you know, have more rules and enforcement on guns. And I'm a guy who, again, I'm an outdoorsman. We've got to have different policies. We've got to have different set of rules, because it's not just happening in El Paso, it's happening all over the United States. And this is something that we as you know, a group of citizens and voters and taxpayers, we have a responsibility to actually get involved, mitigate, you know, the possibility of this happening. And these professional athletes, it doesn't have to be soccer, it can be football, it's other sports. They have some of the loudest voices of all.
EP Fusion has shifted its focus from fundraising for a tournament to now raising money for two of their coaches who are still in the hospital after being shot on Saturday.
Locomotive FC player Sebastian Velasquez saw a GoFundMe account was set up in their name, used his platform to raise awareness and money.
Boom, hit the tweet. Next thing you know, bro, in an hour, it's just, my phone's going on. My phone never goes off. A couple of massive people got involved. Josie Altador, boom, next thing you know, I get a thing of $5,000 put into the account. Then I got a couple girls from the U.S. national team, Jesse McDonald, Abby Smith from Utah Royals. And then next thing you know, Mia Hamm retweets it. Taylor Twellman, Lexi Lalas, these guys as well, they're retweeting it. When I first saw the GoFundMe page, it was at like $600. We ended up at $35,000. The team actually, El Paso Locomotives, then donated $150,000, and they put the icing on the cake with that.
Tonight, we honor the victims of Saturday's tragedy. Our prayers go out to the dozens injured and to the 22 whose lives were taken. We stand vigilant and grieve with the families as if they were our own. Both the teams march out with the giant American flag in the background. Of course, EP Fusion is out there as well, a local girls soccer team affected by the Walmart shooting.
We brought them out to the game. It was a home match against Tacoma Defiance. We're doing the national anthem, and we have our hands on our chests, stuff like that. And then there's at one point that the fireworks go off, and you just hear boom, boom, boom. And I swear, I kid you not, the girls just swarm into each other, start crying, but crying, like scared to death. I thought they were happy because they're at the game. They're crying, scared. Us, El Paso, and Tacoma Defiance, we all wrap around each other and hug them in a way.
I think normality is a couple of steps away, but I think anything striving to get back to that will make the road to healing that much easier.
There was a tough decision to make with the girls as far as when were they going to come back together and play their next game. As the coach and as a parent, how did you see them or help guide them to make that type of decision?
I said, hey girls, like, I have a question for you. We made playoffs. You know, I understand if you don't feel like it, you know, let me know, that's fine. Amongst you girls, discuss it, you know, let me know who wants to play. And this crazy screeching yell just starts popping up from all the girls. And they're all yelling, we're all gonna play, we're playing. That Friday that we took the field, at that moment, I'm kind of in awe at what's taking place in front of me, like what's unfolding in front of me. I'm sure you've been in front of thousands playing. You know, it was only several, maybe 50, 60 people there that night, but it felt like thousands. We ended up losing 2-1, and I told them that night, like, I don't care if we lost 100-1. Something that should have kept us down, that hate that was brought to the city, it should have kept us down and kept us locked away, you know, in fear of anything happening again. Everybody expected you girls not to show up, and you showed up to play.
What do you think people should know about El Paso for people that haven't been there or only know about it now or hear about it on the news through this shooting?
Yeah, I mean, I think they should know, like, El Paso is a small city, but then with big hearts. They welcome you in every way. I mean, no matter what race you are, what culture you have, they just welcome you.
pues si te pusieras, muchas veces se ponen uno en los zapatos de las demás personas, pero nunca vas a sentir lo que ellos sienten. En esos casos la gente se une, mucha gente se siente también dolida, ¿sí me entiendes? Porque pues fue pura gente inocente, no fue gente que anduviera en drogas o algo, ¿sí me entiendes? Era pura gente de trabajo, de casa, de hogar, y pues a toda esa gente en un 2x3 les cambió la vida, ¿sabes cómo? Les cambió.
Y eran víctimas de los dos lados, ¿no?
De los dos lados, víctimas de los dos lados, sí.
You know, we've adopted Ciudad Juárez as our sister city, even though they're in a different country. You know, when one hurts, we all hurt together.
I think soccer can heal, you know? I think soccer can heal communities. Let everything go and just enjoy your sport.
You know, a soccer ball can do so much and can help you forget so much. That's what I've always said. When I play soccer, I forget about everything. When I step on the pitch, 90 minutes, it's just me and my own world. It just becomes like that safe place. So for these girls, they're playing this game and they're running around after the soccer ball, they've forgotten about everything. These are the future of Paso. These are little girls that dream to be Mia Hamm's, they dream to be Alex Morgan's. They made a decision to play, and that's quite incredible for a little girl to be like, I want to go play soccer, it's okay. And you put a jersey on, and it says one name, El Paso Fusion. It's a community.
Fusion family. 1, 2, 3. Fusion family!
In this heightened moment of xenophobia, the choice to come together to just play becomes an act of resilience. In a world where the strongest of us are far too often those who shouldn't have to be. Just as words of hate echo, speaking up against it reverberates too, to inspire collective action towards meaningful change. If you come here, you'll be greeted by both welcome and bienvenidos. Affirmations of the shared spirit between these sister cities, where borders aren't barriers, but a passageway to understanding our neighbors and embracing something greater, sin fronteras.